Hello, everyone, and welcome to a technical issue-free SHIRO show.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
everybody.
great. New show,
Definitely
new
no
SHIRO.
problems.
Totally no
How are you,
problems.
Pat?
I'm doing pretty good. Despite the fires that reeked after we left the air yesterday.
Yeah, things got a little dicey last week. We had our big celebratory show about Sega Gaga, and then as soon as we got off the air, we saw that there were fights breaking out across the internet, in particular on Blue Sky, as well as in our own Discord server, about the AI disclosure that we did not know was on the GitHub project page for Sega Gaga.
It was a surprise to us because when we got it, I think all we got were the patch file for the Dreamcast. So that's all that was sent to us. There was no like README or a whole README thing. That was all that was sent to us, so we didn't know any of the details besides what they told us about the translators and everyone else that worked on it. And we had to edit our article quite a few times in the last couple weeks, which I thought was, I don't know, either sad or kind of funny. I don't know.
Last couple days, yeah.
Last couple days.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So, and I mean, I do feel like things got overblown a little bit, and that was partially because the head of the patch existence was pretty vague with his verbiage on the AI declaration, and I think he'll admit to that as well. And he tried to clarify it elsewhere in the GitHub and on Discord and whatnot. So like basically he had like no translators helping him, and we'll get into Saturn stuff in a minute, but we just wanted to address this real quick.
Yeah, because it's kind of. It was a big thing. It was kind of a. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of hurt a little bit. I think Dan and I were looking at the comments, and there's a lot of people that were like questioning SHIRO's integrity or something of that nature, and like questioning everything we did. And I was like, no. Like there was a lot of
that wasn't fun to see.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were being quite frankly really rude and. Very accusatory and incredibly harassing to people. Like I think even Video Game Esoterica got like people sending him like emotes saying to like off himself or whatever.
Oh,
so that was a great one. That was a great way to end that day. So I was very bummed out. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'll be frank. I was really bummed. We worked all really hard getting that ready, and then that sort of thing. It sort of that reaction just kind of bummed us out, and people accused us of this and that, and it's like they started harassing people, and it really was a bummer.
Yeah, like I put a lot of energy into hyping it up all week, on our social media channels and whatnot, and I put effort on my own toward the patch itself. They asked me to come on in the last couple of weeks before it released to play test the CDI version of it, since I have an unmodified Dreamcast. And so despite my Dreamcast laser trying to die, I fought my way through it and spent a good 10-12 hours playtesting my way through it, as much of it as I could before they wanted to release. I knew they wanted to release quickly, so I was not too picky about the way it was written, even though like there were parts that seemed a little clunky, but that could have very well been down to translator choice and wanting to be more literal about things or whatever. I wasn't in a position really to question it. I was just looking for bugs, which I found a couple, and looking for and really making sure it worked, which it did. And then since I am me, I had to point out proofreading things that I spotted with, spelling errors and grammar errors and stuff like that, which I'll add are things that humans make and not
machines.
LLM chatbots, right? But just to like let people know, the existence has said that he didn't have any translators at first when he started working on Sega Gaga more than a year ago. So, and he doesn't really know much Japanese, so he used a combination of a machine translator called DeepL, which is essentially, fancy Babelfish, fancy Google Translate, and an LLM chatbot called ChatGPT, very well known ChatGPT.
Just a little lesser known thing online. Not a lot of people know about that one. Pretty obscure.
Right. So he used DeepL and ChatGPT to translate the script of the game that he had pulled out of the game, and then put it back in to the game. So that, like, as he was poking around the game and trying to find ways to actually like translate it that he could know his way around and understand what he was looking at.
Yeah, and that's pretty common. Like a lot of people, I'm not going to obviously call people out because I don't want people to harass other one, but that's kind of a common thing with a lot of developers that don't know a lot of Japanese, that they'll machine translate things to know where things are and like sort of understand that. I know that a few people do.
Working on it.
Yeah, like I said, I would put out examples, but I'm not going to do that because I don't, A, don't want to throw people under the bus, B, don't want to misspeak, and C, do not want people to be harassed over it. But I mean, it's a pretty common like setup, like a first round thing, just to see where things are and understand where the code is, especially if you don't know Japanese.
Yeah, so as things progressed, some translators reached out wanting to help, and so then they were given access to both the rough machine translation and the original Japanese script, and then Existence just let them go wild translating it however they saw fit. Existence also worked with them with researching a lot of the obscure references that are made in Sega Gaga. As everyone knows, there are a lot of obscure references from the time period to Japanese culture in general and to video games specifically, and so they tried their best to recognize all those references and research them and get them right in the patch. So to their credit, there was a lot of human work that went into it over the past year, and I know at least one human worked on editing it because that was me when I was playtesting it. 640 Dulciman, I think is his name, if I'm getting it right. It might be not, but he came on pretty late in the project and said that he specifically worked on the shmup section of the game and translated that right from the Japanese. He didn't look at any chat, GPT translation or anything like that. So, I realize that people are still disappointed that ChatGPT was used anytime in the process because, AI is disagreeable for a number of reasons. It uses a lot of electricity, it harms the environment, and using it at all does encourage it to be used more in the industry, which is causing RAM prices to spike and hard drive prices to spike.
Everything computers is spiked. You're not having a good gaming rig.
So yeah, it's just going to increase the price of everything. So it is, and not to say nothing the fact that further AI use is also eliminating jobs and hurting people's livelihood. So yeah, AI is not something that I'm super happy with, and a lot of people aren't. So I understand to some extent the reaction to people who did not like it, but I also think that it's wrong to completely dismiss the patch as if it is machine slop and no humans worked on it, because that is false. From what we know from asking the team and verifying it, it is not just like lightly. It's not like they entered machine slop. It's
not like
actually,
they threw it into ChatGPT, but like translate this game for me. Right. That's not how that works at all.
Not what they did over the last year. So, and they did release the tools, so anyone else can do their own translation. And sure, it's first impressions are the most important, and who's going to play a retranslation, blah blah blah. Well,
I think a lot of people would. Yeah, I hear the argument. I'm not sure what people are talking about. There's plenty of games that got other translations or retranslations. Like I think the Pokemon games probably had a ton of retranslations over the past. The Earthbound games have had, like, I think Mother 1 and 2 had retranslations. I know 2 has, like, Mother 2 Uncut or whatever, just Mother 2. So there's a lot of that one. There's plenty of games that had that. Here's a big one that's in the Sega scene. Shining Force, Scenario 1, got a retranslation.
Yeah. And so that's, the version that everyone recommends now and going forward in the future. So the old version is not going to be as played as much going forward. And so any retranslation might be subject to the same treatment. Now, also to their credit, Existence and his team are taking feedback and responding to it, and they are working on an updated 1.1 patch that will make some changes to the translation. So, people who are willing can look forward to that. But
exactly.
Anyway, I think that's about all I wanted to say about this, Pat. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to cap it off with, please stop going after people that are covering it or have worked on it in a capacity and harassing them or sending them threats of any kind. That Yeah, I guess that is a big no-no, and if you are caught, I am going to directly ban you from YouTube or Discord.
Any of our channels.
If I do or any social media blocking you. So, do not recommend doing that. That's not definitely not recommended to do, and heavily discouraged. So don't do that. But yeah, I think that's it from me.
Well, anyway, we did skip saying hi to everybody in chat. I'm sorry about that. We're 13 minutes into the show and haven't done that yet, so I'll do that real quick.
I think people understand. There's pressing stuff happened.
Here. Yeah, Tales of Saturn, Neil Henderson, Aaron King, Slow Coin, Double Dime, Captain Hawden, Pierre Garot is here, Paru. Thanks for watching, everybody. Eric is here, BP Husker, Max Geese, Raiden. Hello, Raiden. And Notorious VDP also is here. Hugh Jazz, Toast with the Most, Scotty Mo, Techno Chris.
Rochelle. Shouts out to his podcast.
Yep, shouts to Scotty's podcast. He mentioned Shiro. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scotty. Much appreciated. Sorry.
Yeah, and
it looks like I'm on my phone, but I'm just getting stuff ready in notes. I can't open Discord on my desktop because it's taking Dan's video, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Scotty, I'll have to break out that old Pepsi towel that I've got somewhere that you talked about in the show. I thought that was funny you mentioned it. And Darch Taco, not Darth Taco, is here. Hello very much. Taco. And Pudgy Bunny, of course, my intrepid producer, and Martin Evans and Analog Black Sheep. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Lacquerware? How did I miss Lacquerware? I didn't see
you just threw up a peace sign. He's at the bottom of the chat.
Oh, I see it. Hi, Lacquerware. Thanks for watching, buddy. Good to see you.
Anyway,
we want to briefly mention our pickups this week. I actually have a Sega Saturn relevant pickup. It is, in fact, a Sega Saturn game itself. It is
Sonic R.
The Japanese version of Sonic R.
Dan Supersonic Racing now.
Lovely copy, except that every time I open the case, the disc pops out. So I'm trying not to.
The teeth are probably messed on that. You probably could switch that out. It's pretty generic, those case things.
Could. Yeah, but so it was pretty cool. I gave it a little spin earlier this week. I haven't played Sonic R in a while, so that was fun. Good times. And now I have all 3 Sonic games on the Saturn. Sonic Jam is Japanese and Sonic R is Japanese, but it's all good. Sonic Jam was actually a gift from a friend of mine, Court. Shout outs to Court for getting me that.
Shouts out.
For Christmas one year. Court and Amber. And then I have a US copy of Sonic 3D Blast, which of course is the cheapest of the 3 Sonic games to get an American copy of. So that's why I have that. So yeah, happy to have all the Sonic games on Saturn now.
Sounds good. Isn't there a couple ones that have like a Sonic cameo in there? Like I think Nights and do you have Christmas Nights?
Yeah, Christmas Nights. No, I don't have Christmas Nights,
and
I don't have.
Sorry, Dan. Doesn't count. I'm just joking.
I do have Bug. Bug does have Sonic in the one bonus level, so.
Well, we're close. Just to get. Yeah. I mean, technically, you have all the playable Sonic games. You just have to get the games that have Sonic in it.
I have the games with Sonic in the title. Yeah. Well, not Sonic Wings, I guess, but that's a different issue.
That's
anyway,
the different Sonic.
Pat.
Yeah. I think all the bulk slash teams in here now. To Shadow mention that. I think everybody is assembled.
Momphis watches. Usually. Oh, there's Momphis. He is here. Yeah. I think we got the whole team.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let's reminisce. I'm just joking.
Yeah. We need.
Unless you want to.
Kitchen. Well, not kitchen. Not kitchen. Shoot.
Didn't she voice the? Didn't one of the person that was on your team voiced the last character in the game that you worked on?
What's her name? Cargo did do a couple little voices along with helping out on the editing a little bit.
There's Kina, I think, right? Or is that her name, Kina?
No, Cargo did like the robotic voice at the end.
Who did Kina though? They worked on.
I don't remember. It's been so many years.
They worked on Soccer Wars.
It makes me feel bad that I didn't help. I'm not remembering.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just putting Dan into the pressure. If people remember, let me know her name. She did the voice of Kina at the end of it, and she worked on Soccer Wars as well. Very cool person. I can't remember her name. Crouching Mouse. Yeah, Crouching Mouse.
Kina, yes, Crouching Mouse is the best.
Crouching Mouse is awesome. I memorized all their names for when I did the recording for Soccer Wars, so I named them all off. So, but
nice.
But yeah, for my pickups, I got something last week, but unfortunately because of the premiere, I didn't get a chance to do it. But I got some new shoes. I got my new basketball shoe goats, the Kobe 6s. So it's really cool. It's like this. It's like this 3D design. It's like asymmetrical. It's really, really cool. I think they're probably the coolest shoes I own, and they even come with 3D glasses with them too. They do have the nicest box too. I do think this is probably the best box. Shouts out Kobe. He just was a kind of an obscure basketball player for some obscure team. I don't know, something about a lake somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I got those, and I got a new audio interface because mine died. I was talking with Lewis last week, and he was saying he had the same issue with his, so I figured it was toast. So I got a new audio interface. So hopefully all the buzzing is gone now. I got this what's it called? It's like the Zoom analog thing. It's like a Zoom interface, so it's all digital, so it's like a digital interface. It also can be used portably, so if you ever want to record SHIRO show somewhere at a con or something, I could bring with us and record. Not really recommended because that's a lot of equipment, but you can do it. You can do it if you want. So yeah, that's good to go on that. It's all sorted out. So
yeah,
happy
you've been
I got
sounding
that.
Good so far. I haven't heard any of those
no buzzing
issues where you just suddenly got garbled. Yeah, your voice would get garbled, and then it would come back after a couple seconds.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that, so that's completely fixed now. The interface is in the garbage. Hopefully this interface will be good from now on. And I don't have to worry into that issue. I think I think either because my theory is either the receiver, the audio interface glitched or is broken, or OBS just didn't want to play well with it anymore, because it worked fine before. It worked for years. I had it for years and it worked fine, but it just stopped working and made my voice sound garbly. It used to be I could reset it and it worked, but it stopped doing that and it just constantly did that. So I unfortunately had to get a new interface. So thank you, SHIRO Patreons, for making that possible, because without that I would be out a lot of money on my credit card. Well, not a lot. It's a decent chunk of change, but still.
Yeah. Well, it's directly helping the show and the audio quality and the podcast.
Exactly.
So it's awesome.
Yeah, but and I got the shirt, but we'll talk more about that later on the podcast.
Yeah. Snazzy shirt. All right. Well, do you want to move on to community news then?
Certainly. Let's get the community news going. Get that beautiful community music by Random rolling. Alrighty, so we'll talk about that one in a bit, but where do you want to start first? Do you want to talk about the articles for the soccer, or do you want to start with the community challenge?
Let's do the community challenge first.
Alrighty, I'll go read that off real quick. Give me a second. I just need to get the article on the phone. Alrighty, had to get my radio voice going. Community challenge update. Whoa. In this month's virtual casino community challenge, we have Rink Rat and How You Been going back and forth on the weekly blackjack challenge, with Rink winning by just $950 for a cash out total of $22,000. Rink is also winning this month's long slots category with a cash out of $17,000. Participants have until midnight, March 9th midnight, to get their blackjack scores in before we switch out to the second weekly challenge, Baccarat. I'm really bad at Baccarat. Is this not picking up? I don't think it's picked up on Discord. I have to fix that, but that's weird. Wait, what the heck? Can people not hear me anymore? Or people?
No, I can hear you.
It's desktop sound. That's why. I am sorry. I was looking at desktop. I was like, why is there nothing coming up? Sorry, Patrick Silly. Anyways,
no technical difficulties this episode.
No,
guys.
sorry. I just expect it.
Brain difficulties.
So hurry up and lay your money down.
Thank you for that double time.
Yes, and we also have an online tournament update.
Yeah, NetLink tournament in soccer.
The online Sega Worldwide Soccer SHIRO tournament is coming near an end, with the notorious VDP beating out Toast with the Most for Best of the West.
Congrats.
VDP will next be going against Beast of the East to see who will survive in America and move on to the worldwide stage to face off against the European Wolverine, Ben Clef.
Oh yeah, if you scroll down, you can show the bracket on screen.
Yeah, I'll go show that bracket up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just expect technical difficulties. So, yeah, here's the bracket so far. Towards VDP versus Double Dime, and then the winner will go fight Ben Clef to be the soccer challenge or the football challenge if you're European.
Down to the 3 bracket winners at this point, the top 3 basically. So, congrats to Notorious VDP and Double Dime and Ben Clef for making it as far as you have, and good luck in your last match or 2.
Exact Soccer Wars.
Once we get that wrapped up, we'll have to figure out what our next tournament is. If anybody has any suggestions or on what they'd want to see, by all means, let us know, or let the community, or rather the online organizers know, like Double Dime, on Discord.
If we ever do Dreamcast tournaments, we definitely should do Outrigger. That'd be kind of a fun one.
Is it Outrigger or Outrigger?
I think it's Outrigger, right?
I don't know. I always called it Outrigger. That's probably wrong.
There's 2 T's, so I believe it's Trigger. Outrigger.
Okay, there's 2 T's. I guess I just was seeing it wrong. All right, Outrigger. Gotcha.
I hope so, or I'd have been really pronouncing that really terribly bad for quite a long time. Also, we can move this chat a little bit more forward. I forgot that we don't need to use the one behind the couch because Dave isn't here today. Also, Dave is not here. He is doing family stuff. He is a family guy.
Well, no, I think today he had to work late. And he knew about this for the last couple of weeks that he would have to work late. Yeah. So, yeah, he let us know.
And we miss him. Can't wait to have him back.
Yeah, we should have him back next week.
Alrighty, so we should probably get through these articles. We have a lot of them this week.
We have a lot of news. Did you run the news song?
I did, just playing the news song, the music.
The music.
Getting that play.
Amazing.
Music make me lose control. Music make me lose control. Let's go. Alright, I guess we're starting with the Saturn ported Prize Fighter, right? Yeah.
How about this? We got a new Saturn game, new old Saturn game is playable right now. So the old Prize Fighter from Digital Pictures, the FMV game that appeared on the Sega CD, and they were allegedly porting an enhanced version of it to the Saturn in early 1996 before the company went bankrupt.
Way under.
Yeah. Super under. That got released this week by the current rights holder to all the Digital Pictures games, which is Josh Fairhurst. He is the former owner of Limited Run Games. He left the company last fall, but when he did it, he also took the rights to all these Digital Pictures games, and he's been working with a company called Screaming Villains to get them ported onto modern consoles. So you can play Prize Fighter Heavyweight Edition right now on like PlayStation and the Switch and PC.
And Steam. It came out, by the way. It was a surprise release.
Right.
It just came out like a couple weeks ago, and we were like, "Oh, it's out." Okay.
We didn't realize. So you can go do that. You can buy it for was it $10 or something? And but I mean, they also decided to release the original Saturn version, the playable Saturn version, on the Internet Archive. So if you go to SHIRO, Sega Saturn, SHIRO.com.
SHIRO, Sega Saturn, Sega Saturn, SHIRO, Sega Saturn, SHIRO, Sega SHIRO Saturn, Sega SHIRO Saturn.
SHIRO, you'll find our site. Go to our website and check out the story that I wrote about this. We've got a link to that archive where you can download it for yourself and check it out.
Yeah, there's a big history of it. There's a big history of it though, because Kay actually had a copy of Prize Fighter and tried to rip it, but unfortunately, because of the damage to the disc. Both him and I believe Frank Cifaldi could not get a good rip of it and get it working. But technically, we could have potentially had it almost 10 years ago, but due to that issue, the build was unreadable. But I'm guessing there's another one that was actually playable, and was now released, so we can actually enjoy the game. And they actually released a little discard of it too, so you can make a custom thing for it.
Well, I think they did have to do some work to get this playable, and that work seems to have been done by Todd McHenry, who is an acquaintance of somebody at Screaming Villains named Tyler Hogel, who was the person.
Okay, so this is more than just finding a disc that was ripped, then, right?
Yeah. Todd McHenry had to actually work on this, and he did post a little bit in the Mr. Discord server of all places about the release. He said, I posted here a couple of years ago that we found the unreleased prize fighter for Sega Saturn. It is now up on Internet Archive. It's semi-official as it can be, as Josh, who owns the rights to these games, gave us the go-ahead to release it. Runs great on hardware and the Mr. Core. Can't say the same. The game is great, but it's nice to finally not be sitting on this.
Yeah, the game is pretty bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. I mean, it's no Slam City featuring Scottie Pippen, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. But I mean, hey, it is Saturn history, and it's always cool to get an unreleased prototype like this, which we seem to get about every year or so anymore, right? We get an unreleased prototype. So
there's a lot of them coming out. It's been a steady stream of these releases, which I really enjoy. I really love playing, even though it's like, even some of them that are just like not really that great, like Sacred Pools or Prize Fighter. I love playing them just because I just love that they're out there for everybody.
We got that little development build of Destruction Derby 2 last year.
Yeah, right? Which is also not very good, but
a couple of years ago, which is a little more playable, a little more complete. And we got that Rebel Strike build several years ago, so yeah, all kinds of neat stuff.
It's all trickling out little by little, which I appreciate.
Now, I did have an extra little section at the end of the story talking about Maximum Surge, which is a game that they were working on for both the Saturn and the PC. It wasn't a port, it was an original game. It was like a light gun shooter. And footage of it did come out years later after they canceled this at the same time as, they went out of business in 1996. Footage was kind of like recut together into a movie, kind of a bad movie later on. But anyway, so we did kind of know what it looked like, but there's never been a playable like version of this shooter game. Although there is like a demo, I guess, that they put on Internet Archive of the PC version, like the DOS version. You can kind of check out.
I guess there's a small demo you could play. I actually didn't know about that. I thought it was just unplayable, period.
Yeah, if you look at like the digital pictures, look up digital pictures on Internet Archive, you'll find like some of these other things like Prize Fighter on there, and there is a playable like DOS demo for Maximum Surge. Well, anyway, so the previous rights holder of the digital pictures games, Flash Filmworks, announced last September that it sold the rights to Josh Fairhurst. When it made that announcement, it accompanied it with an image that was a collage of digital pictures game covers, including the Sega CD version of Prize Fighter and the Saturn version, unreleased Saturn version of Maximum Surge. On the SHIRO Facebook page, Tyler Hogel replied to a Saturn fan happy with this week's Prize Fighter archival by saying, "We have a Saturn and PC build of Maximum Surge 2. When asked about whether there are plans to upload Maximum Surge to the Internet Archive, Hogel said, "We've definitely talked about it. We're just waiting until we get closer to the remastered version that they're apparently working on before we do anything with it." There's a few other things that were found too, but as far as unreleased Saturn games go, Prize Fighter and Maximum Surge is it. Josh Fairhurst added some, end quote. So Josh Fairhurst adds some more detail on Blue Sky, saying, "Screaming Villains is working on a remaster of Maximum Surge, but that will likely drop after all the other digital pictures remasters, since it's a little more complex. We have all the film and code, though, so it will be fully accurate to how the game would have played had it released in 96. So, what I'm saying here is a playable version of the Saturn version of Maximum Surge may very well exist, and maybe we'll get it one day. Maybe they will release it, and that would be super cool to look forward to.
Yeah, so. No, I think that'd be really cool. I know I'm pretty excited to play it. I've always seen the videos and all the documentaries on the game. And it actually looks like it probably could be one of my favorite my favorite digital pictures games, just because it looks so cool. Like the aesthetics are cool. It kind of reminds me of Stargate almost.
Really? Yeah, I mean, like a light gun game is going to be a little more fun and more playable than like a QTE fest like Prize Fighter. So, like,
Yeah,
it's got to be better, right?
at least a little bit. The other game, Corpse Killer, was also supposed to be a light gun game, and it's not very well. I wouldn't lie, it's not bad, but it's not exactly. I want to replay it very often, like House of the Dead or something. But yeah, I think I'm excited for that notion. Hopefully, we can get Maximum Surge in the future. That'd be kind of cool to be able to play. And hopefully it'll come out. And I mean, they kept the word of the Prize Fighter, so I think as soon as the Maximum Surge comes out, I think they're gonna probably do a similar drop to that, where it's like they just put the game out and be like, there you go, Maximum Surge.
Yeah, I would think so. That'll be cool. All right, so moving on, there have been like a lot of little things going on in the Saturn community over the last week or two that I just wanted to put together into a big roundup. This one's a little longer than usual. Usually I have like 3 or 4 stories in a
That shirt
Saturn
looks awful
roundup.
This
This one is 6. Yeah, that shirt does look familiar. Tell us all about it, Pat.
Yeah, so I guess one of them is that Sega is now selling official Saturn and just a merch in general for Dreamcast and other stuff. So they've been slowly putting up merch on the Amazon store over like the last couple like years or two. Like I got I had a Dreamcast shirt, I got a Jet Set Radio shirt, and just recently this one in the Dreamcast shirt. I saw the Dreamcast shirt right here. I guess called the Legendary, just to say, console collection, I believe is the name of it.
Yeah, it also features the Genesis stuff as well.
Oh, it's a Blue Sky post? Oh, okay. I didn't expect them to post on Blue Sky.
Yeah, Sega officially is on Blue Sky. Both their Japanese and Western divisions are actually on Blue Sky. So that's cool.
Let's hope they have a better time than we are. I kind of want this shirt. Right now. This Dreamcast with the 9.9. I think I want that one. I have the.
That's a good one.
I bought this one, this one, and then this Dreamcast shirt. I like the aesthetic of it. I kind of want this one though. I think they did this like a little bit after I ordered, so I'm not sure. What do you guys think? What color should I get for that?
Eric says Master System Erasure. I agree. I'm rather upset that there's no Master System merchandise here. What the heck?
Bit of a bummer. They only talk about the winter consoles, Dan.
Yeah, I guess.
Get those loser consoles out of here.
Actually sold at least as much as the Saturn in the United States. Which, sure, that's not a high bar to clear, but it did
not a big one.
At least up part of the Saturn, at least, if not more. So, they could mention some Master System, but maybe they're seeing the Saturn Renaissance and they're recognizing it. I appreciate that. And yeah, they have some cool T-shirts and water bottles and a tote bag and a pillow and stuff like that. And what's really nice,
do they have thongs, Dan?
No thongs. But
I know one company that's working on merch in that vein.
Yeah, but we don't have it up yet. Stay tuned.
Official Sega Saturn SHIRO merch when? I'm not sure you mean by official Sega Saturn SHIRO merch. I mean of Segata-san SHIRO, or do you mean stuff that Sega makes for us? I don't know.
I don't think Sega's gonna make that for us. No Mr. Bones merch. No, unfortunately not.
There is merch though, but it's expensive. Kay was at the PRGE this year and found like a Mr. Bones watch and a Mr. Bones like a couple stuff for it. But the guy wanted like $500. I was thinking of buying it, but it was too much for the bit. It was too much to make a bit for it, so I decided to pass.
You'd have to be a true Mr. Bones fan, a true boner to pay that much money for that
Unfortunately, I couldn't get it up and get the bone going, so it happens to every person.
Especially as we age. So yeah, looking at some of the other stories that's happened recently, scrolling back up here, we have a demonstration of the Saturn sound chip calculating graphics. This has always been something that was kind of rumored as maybe something Sega was doing to squeeze as much juice as they could out of the Saturn for like a Virtua Fighter 3 port or something like that. So a member of the Sega Extreme homebrew community, Jolly Roger, decided to see if that was really something that was possible. And here it is. He uploaded a video to YouTube this week showing a rotating spherical wireframe polygon that Jolly Roger says being calculated by the sound chip's DSP, the SCSP's DSP. Of course, there are two DSPs inside the Saturn. One of them is in the SCU, the central chip that kind of like directs all the data going around between all the different chips. And the DSP inside that is the one that people talk about more when they talk about the Saturn's DSP. It's able to, it doesn't really have much access to RAM, so it's sort of limited in what it can do, but it is able to do a lot of like concurrent calculations. It's useful for like matrix transformations with 3D processing. Now, the DSP that's inside the Saturn's sound block is also a DSP, so you can have it do whatever you want, I guess, apparently. But it's really intended to be used for helping with processing sound data that you are moving out of RAM and into the sound chips.
That's
so
actually kind of cool.
He said, I wanted to see if the audio DSP can, in fact, be coerced into transforming vertices. And after finagling for a long time with the tricky code, the answer is yes. The tiny demo shows an icosphere rotating where the matrix/vertex multiplication required to transform its vertices to screen coordinates is performed by the audio DSP. With the initial messy code, the theoretical performance limit is about 170,000 vertices per second, which isn't too bad.
See, see, John Carmack was right on the money. They could have done it, but they wimped out. They didn't have the skills. They didn't have the skills to pay the bills. So yeah, once again, guys, John Carmack was right all along. So I'm gonna be asking everybody in the audience to please write a apology letter to John Carmack and say sorry, we doubted you, sir. The Saturn's chip could have done it, but the program that worked on it was just bad at their job. No, don't do that. That's bad. But joking aside, I do think this is really cool, and I wonder if this could be used to enhance the performance of some other games. Theoretically, of course.
I'd like to see a homebrew project that just blows us away, partially because it is using the audio DSP to add another 170,000 vertices per second on screen. Which what that calculate to at 60 frames a second? It's I don't know. It's another 10,000 polygons or something like that. It's a lot
of polygons.
That's something. Yeah, that'll help. Or 10,000 vertices. I guess that's not necessarily polygons. They need to. Polygons made up by multiple vertices.
Polygones.
But something that would help. Okay, so moving on. The Saturn had a presence at Retro Connection Fest in Germany. Perth, Germany? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Hopefully not.
These look like they're still Monfus's TVs.
Yeah, because these are Monfus's TVs. Because Monfus was part of this. Perth?
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was like, what's Monfus's TVs doing there? Someone steal them?
Yeah.
Somebody help Monfus.
It was Monfus. Yeah, Monfus let us know about this, so I wanted to write about it because it's always cool to hear about the Saturn being at different retro conventions. So Retro Connection Fest happened last weekend from our airing here on March 6th, and they had a little Sega Saturn area thanks to Monfus and a few of the other people that helped out with bringing the Saturn to Gamescom in Germany last year. So it's like a mini version of what they had there. Yeah, they apparently had some system link set up with Daytona USA. Looks like they're playing, but they were also doing Virtual On, and they were also playing Cooperative Doom over System Link thanks to Fafling's patch that enabled System Link in Doom. So that's super cool.
Nice.
Yeah, Monfus said they provided us a part of their building, tables and electricity, and promotion, including flyer printing. And two friends and me, organized it last year and this year. So this is their second year they've been to Retro Connection Fest. We provide a basic stock of consoles with a light bar within a light gun bar, and last year some System Link consoles. And beyond that, we gathered other collectors of retro gaming systems to set up their systems. So this time we were about 22 people exhibiting our systems. So it's kind of a smaller convention, but still, I'm sure it's still good to see people getting exposed to the Saturn and getting to enjoy it.
That's really cool, though. Yeah, no, it's a really cool time. I always love the German fans are really cool about that and always have passion. Even if they don't play Saturn, we still think every day had like a bunch of people playing the Saturn. It's like it was always full.
Yeah,
at Gamescom. So the German fans are passionate about their Saturns and retro games. Honestly, there was a lot of cool fans there. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, honestly,
Germany loves Wing Commander.
I think throughout the con, talking to people, I think I've only met like one dude that was kind of like weird to me, like it was like kind of rude to me. But I think he also might have had a disability, so that might have been a big thing on that. But everyone was really cool there, so I'm not gonna put it against him.
Well, shout outs to Memphis. Way to keep up the fight with the Saturn and keep bringing your Saturns around to different places and exposing it to people. That's cool.
Exactly.
Okay,
Thank you.
So moving on, Vigilant Paradise, our favorite homebrew FPS of the last 6 months, because it's the only Saturn FPS of the last 6 months, but still, it's a super cool game.
It's
it
really
got
cool
a
game.
new, it got a new update. It's actually gotten a couple updates since we last talked about it in the last couple of months. It is up to version 1.003. We don't know much about what was added to this. The developer, Ricardo Campione, just said it's got stability improvements and other fixes. I mean, hey, any kind of fixes is good. The previous version 1.002 had fixed an issue with a long delay on boot up for some players. It also improved load times, made some other fixes.
But I'm glad to see it and fixed. Yeah, I'm excited. Really great game. Probably one of my favorite homebrews in recent memory.
So
no shade to anybody out.
About it. If you don't have it yet, look it up on itch.io. It is for sale. I think it's $10, right?
It's not bad.
It's still $10. So yeah, give them some support.
So let's go with into hunts.
Yeah, we've got a new patch from a homebrew developer on Sega Extreme, Cool Filler. And Cool Filler has made a patch for In the Hunt that swaps its arranged Saturn exclusive soundtrack to the arcade soundtrack. He originally used the PlayStation. He originally used the PlayStation edition of the arcade soundtrack, but he then realized that it was kind of low quality, so he instead pulled it out of the PC version of In the Hunt, and that's apparently much better. So you can go to Sega Extreme's resource area and download that and check it out. It's an X Delta
I always like
patch.
These little ones.
Yeah, kind of cool. Cool Filter's worked on some other patches that mess with Saturn audio. He's worked on like KO Flying Squadron 2 and Albert Odyssey. So yeah, this is kind of like his bag. And this patch also can optionally swap the Japanese version's title screen to the North American one. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want to play the Japanese version? It is apparently because the Japanese version is set to free play. I didn't realize this. While the American version has just 5 credits to beat the game.
That sounds about right for rental games.
Yeah, right.
And then looks like the last one is the XL2 shows off the improved ray tracing.
Yeah, I think we may have briefly mentioned this on the show last week. We didn't have time to get into it or write a story about it, so I put it up and put it on the roundup here. XL2 continues to improve his ray traced lighting effects demo that he showed off back in January. And he put up a new video last Friday, right before our show that week, showing off what he's done. He said, "Here, unlike the last video I posted, every single dynamic light can cast shadows, including on world geometry. For each dynamic light, I add a list of entities and walls that I somewhat pre-process for faster performances. Then, for each vertex, depending on the update rate, I test every dynamic light in range with every entities/geometry in the light's entity/geometry array. He admits it's resource intensive to do it that way, as each vertex requires way more computation than you would normally have just to calculate its position. So he's also considering whether to switch from ray tracing to shadow volumes. That's another technique for rendering real-time lighting and shadows in a 3D environment. Shadow volumes would be calculated using the Saturn's SCU DSP, remember the other DSP, to find the dot products. Pretty much the only thing the SCU DSP is excellent in, XL2 said. But he questioned whether the work required to set up shadow volumes would be worth it compared to just sticking with ray tracing, which he said is much easier to implement. So basically, shadow volumes are going to be less intensive on the Saturn, but harder to program to set it up. Ray tracing is easier to implement, but it is more intensive for the hardware to actually use at runtime. So I guess interesting things to think about and to see his progress on.
Yeah, for sure. There's also another update we haven't wrote about, but
no.
Somebody was asking about, huh?
Oh?
I thought you said no. I was like, oh. Sorry guys, we can't talk about it till next week. No, there is somebody asked if there's any new homebrew games that support online gaming, and there actually is one in the works. We'll probably talk about that. I don't have the details yet, but you probably talk about that next week, right, Dan?
Yeah, because I did test it out earlier this week. There's a homebrew game that not only uses the netlink, but is the first ever netlink game to allow for 6 players at once. So pretty wild that it exists. It is still very much a work in progress. It's like a video game implementation of an existing card game called Coup, C-O-U-P. So yeah, look out for some details on that coming soon.
Exactly.
It's pretty fun to play it.
Yeah, just want to just tease that because somebody was asking. So that. So next week we'll be talking about that probably, or week after, one of those two.
Yeah, sometimes.
Though I will be doing a SHIRO show from Japan, so that'll be fun.
Next week?
Not next week. Next week I'm not going to be able to at all do SHIRO show, but the week after that I will be in Japan, and I think it's 7:00 a.m. Japan time is SHIRO show, so I can I'll try to record one from there, or do one live from there.
It will, yeah, because our time change in America, we are springing ahead by an hour this Saturday night / Sunday morning. So yeah, right now we are 14 hours behind. We will then be 13 hours behind Japan after the time jump. So yeah, 6 p.m. would be 7 a.m. in Japan. You are right.
So yeah, I will be doing a show from Japan, usual SHIRO show time. I'll do it when I get up in the morning. I think it'll just be me pointing the camera, holding the phone. Yeah. So, but I'll be seeing if I can walk around, look out of our hotel, walk around a little bit. I'll try to do that. The thing is, I'm worried about that people think I'm some of those RRL streamers that are unfortunate in Japan. So hopefully nobody will mistake that for me, because I don't really want to get punched walking around Japan.
So many tourists. I'm sure nobody's going to care. It'll be fine. As long as you're not hanging off any torii gates or something like that. Please don't do that. Please be respectful at the shrines.
I don't think I'm going to hit a shrine. I'm going to be in Tokyo, so.
Oh, there are shrines in Tokyo.
Or in the shopping area district places. So.
Okay.
I mean, maybe there's
you never
one.
know. You'll find a shrine in Japan. They have little tiny ones tucked away everywhere. It can be interesting to stumble across. Anyway, what's our next story, Pat?
We were talking about Under the Mexico Battle Arena Toshinden Remix.
Okay.
So,
Bo got for us today.
Yeah. So, Bo's thinking what I'm thinking. Bo, the cheat codes of Battle Arena Toshinden Remix have already been documented. We've already aware how to unlock the boss character and enable the big head mode. There's nothing left to find. And that's what he thought too. Until they check the game data, of course. The game data, as always, Bo provides that not all the cheat codes have been found yet. And he's found a couple more. 2 unreported codes. One enables easy special attacks during gameplay, so modern controls for Street Fighter 6 levels of things. So you're going to get roasted if you do use this code, because you'll be noob status. And then the other activates a special scene test menu, so that's kind of cool. So it goes through the reverse engineering a bit here, so into the tech detail. I won't go through all of it, but essentially you need to be at the title screen again to enter this code, and the easiest way to get back, choose one of the modes from the menu, then do a soft reset by holding ABC and pressing start. And after you enter this code, you can perform your character's special attack by holding A and then pressing ZLR. So a little bit easier to do that.
Yeah.
And then the second code, the scene test menu, this is kind of cool. Use the D-pad A and C to change which character round and scene to display. Pressing start will play the selected scene from story mode. The third code is XBZCYALR start, and it will do that. And then he says, you know what you're thinking again, what about the NTSC J version of the game? Does that have different code? And it does. It has 3 different codes: play as the boss, a special attack, and scene test. And here's the codes listed right here. But you have to use the second controller to enter the scene test mode and the NTSC Japan version of the game, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Cheat bodes. Oh man, that's a good one. The cheat bodes. It's like a little magazine. Honestly, if we do another magazine thing, we should do a thing called cheat bodes. Honestly, we have enough stuff in here to like do that for a magazine. Just add the bow stuff. Be like a gaming magazine. Just grab whatever.
Yeah, if Bo would be okay with that, that is. We'd have to get his permission, of course.
Yeah, of course. I imagine he probably won't have a problem with it. But I mean, obviously, we're gonna ask him before that. But I think he would be down. But in the outro, you might be thinking this: what about Battle Arena Toshinden Ura? Are there extra cheat codes in that? Well, gotta find out till next week to find out.
What a tease!
We got 2 teasers. Hey, that makes people. Wow, 51 viewers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. A lot of viewers
thanks
today.
For watching, everybody.
Let's keep those viewer counts going. A lot
Can't
more
be
show.
as long as it usually is, but because Pat's got to run. But we do have another 10 minutes or so at least.
Alright, so Silhouette Mirage, Best of Saturn. So I guess we can go through.
Want me to read this?
Oh, sure, you can go through it. I'll give you some airtime, Dan.
Okay. The next one's your story, so you'll be talking about that.
You got 2 stories.
Yes, Peter Malik took a look at Silhouette Mirage this week. Of course, all of his Best of Saturns this year are focusing on games that have English fan translations. Mm-hmm. Silhouette Mirage is no different. He says, a September 1997 release, Silhouette Mirage is the second treasure game to hit the Saturn. Set in the year 2000 XXX, 2XXX, the worldwide AI known as Ado malfunctions and splits everyone into either silhouettes or mirages.
Dude, we have just so much AI this week. Holy crap.
Oh, a little bit. Enter our heroine, Shina Nera Shina, who can switch between these 2 attributes at will by simply facing one way or the other. This matters, as only silhouettes can attack mirages and vice versa. Shina embarks on a platforming adventure through time to repair and restore Ado and reunite the silhouettes and mirages. Shina can have up to 7 weapons called parasites, with references to the 7 deadly sins, which can go up or down in potency depending on her spirit gauge. The duality is that being hit by an opposing enemy impacts your HP, while being hit by the same type reduces your spirit. Collect coins to buy upgrades or regain health as you work your way through the game's frenetic, colorful levels. Silhouette Mirage received 2 fan translations, first in November 2023 with working designs as English script inserted, and again in March 2024 with an original retranslation, as working designs strayed quite far from the original Japanese script. Both efforts were led by Rasputin 3000, also known as our own Gregory Rasputin, fellow SHIRO, as well as Wired Crackpot, who did the translation, and others.
We put that on the we put a video on the thing, I believe on the YouTube channel talking about it. I believe there's a video up on that. I could have only released one, but if not, let me know. I think it was really insightful. Gregory goes and talks about the translation quite a bit and how he went through the effort. Yeah. Oh, that also reminds me. Somebody commented on something earlier saying that they're surprised that they were offended that we sold the merch when we don't work on any of the fan translations. So I'm just gonna let that sink in. Nobody on the apparently nobody on the SHIRO team has worked on any fan translations.
No, none of us.
Nobody. Not me. Not Dan. Not Gregory Rasputin. Not Dave. None of us apparently.
No.
And for people that don't know, we are joking, of course. I think collectively, each one of us has worked on 2+ fan translations. So yeah, gonna ask people to not put stupid comments in our YouTube channel. Would appreciate that, but it is YouTube a little bit much.
Why do we have to sell? Why do we have to work on fan translations to sell merchandise for our SHIRO media group? Like, what's that got to do with it? It doesn't. Like, if people want to, rep SHIRO because you like what we do and you want to support us and help us to keep the lights on, then we're gonna put some shirts and hats and stuff up and let people do that, and people do, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you. So, and love the merch.
Who cares?
I buy my own merch
t-shirts right now.
Honestly, I'll just buy my own merch if they didn't want, if they're offended by it, I'll just keep it and buy it myself and have all the cool merch, and nobody will have it besides me. I will have all the merch. No, but joking aside, when I thank Gregory Rasputin for all this hard work and everybody on the team that does fan translations. Oh, got a good tamming, $2 and I guess $1.99 technically. if I can heart it because the thing's in my way. Budget or buttery? D-pad mode on the 3D pad.
Thank you, Wiener Bob.
Wouldn't that be that kind of be buttery because you're flexing at that point because you're like, oh, I have a 3D controller, but I don't even need that to kick your ass. I'm just gonna turn on digital mode and own you. So it's kind of like a flex almost.
Yeah.
So I would say buttery.
Yeah, I would say buttery too, because it's super awesome that it even has the option to just switch to D-pad mode. So if you happen to, you don't have to swap controllers. You can just keep your trusty 3D pad hooked up to your Saturn, and if you're playing something that only works with the D-pad, just flick the switch, and you're good to go. So super buttery. Does the merch ship to Japan? I don't know.
I mean, it should be. It's on our merch store, the TeePublic, so you check there. But if you really want merch,
ships to Japan, then it will.
Yeah, but if you really want Shiro merch and you live anywhere in the regions of Tokyo, Kyoto, or Osaka, just hit me up and I'll personally deliver it to you and I'll sign it if you really want to. Honestly, if anybody that's watching that's in Shiro and wants to do a meetup in Japan, we could do that. I'm going to be at some public places, so if people want, we can do a meetup. I'm down to meet people.
That'd be fun.
I might just do a thing on like a Discord, be like, hey guys, going to Japan, if anybody wants to meet up or hang out or something, or go to, because I'm going to be going to like Universal and Tokyo Disney. So if anybody wants to do that, just hit me up. We can meet up and go on some rides. Go on the Detective Conan stuff, because I totally won't be doing that when I'm in Japan, because I'm totally not a fan of that show at all in the slightest.
Massive Conan fan.
Totally not. Just don't even know anything about that show. So probably not the only. But anyways, probably continue on. We're running a little bit low on time here, but.
Yep.
Would you budget or buttery for that? Sorry,
I said buttery as well.
Alrighty, so the next one, which is probably my personal favorite translation of recent for the Saturn release, because I'm a fan of this thing, Lupin the Third, the Sage of Pyramid, or Pyramid no Kinja, got a fan translation. So we covered this before years ago. We covered this around for when we did our Tomb Raider cast. We made this the obscure game of the cast. And so we talked about this a little bit, and I actually controversially, I liked it more than Tomb Raider.
Wow. Okay. Why is
that?
Yeah. Why did you like it?
I just enjoy
Tomb Raider like. That's why there's a comparison.
Yeah, I just really enjoy the gameplay of it. I think it's really cool. I think the controls are a little bit more maneuverable than Tomb Raider in a way. It probably has the least better story, and the graphics are probably not as impressive, but I think it's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, it still looks nice. Anyway, so tell us about this translation.
So yeah, this was done by Vermilion Desserts. Basically, this one kind of came out of almost nowhere. So Vermilion Desserts posted a video on February 18th saying that they're working on a work in progress build that featured graphics redrawn in English and cutscenes with subtitles. You could see here a little bit of glitching right there, but it's just a work in progress. So I want to take note that this was posted on February 18th. And he stated that the only missing pieces at that point were Fujiko's post-level score scenes and the rest of the level names, according to his post on romhacking.net. And then 10 days later, he then released the patch, meaning the entire patch took him 3 weeks to complete and translate from start to finish in total. 3 weeks. I'm playing with it till release. And here's a couple of comparisons. You could see there were some complaints, as you could see, that the text is the video is a little bit fuzzier because he had to transcode this video and then add the subtitles and put it in again. So it's a little bit fuzzy on the subtitles. I think Trekkies might reach out to him maybe and talk to him about that and get that if he wants to do that.
Can even help him. I mean, because to really, when you're like hard coding subs. Basically like drawing new subs into every frame of a video. You have to take that original video and then you're re-encoding it. So you're going to lose some kind of detail with that. Like the best practice is either to find a way to do soft coded subs where you are using some some kind of code routine to place the subs on the screen over top of the video, or you find a higher quality source of the video somewhere else to add the subs to, and then replace the original video in the Saturn with your new one, because then when you're transcoding for the Saturn, it's going to lose a little detail, but you're starting from a higher quality one anyway, so it'll be okay. Unfortunately, I don't think any of the anime scenes that are in the Stage of the Pyramids game here was ever released anywhere else. Like, it was originally made for this game. It's a Saturn exclusive, and it's never been released anywhere else. So this is our only source for it. What can you do?
Yeah. Fun fact, though, I think TMS Entertainment did the animation, which is the people that did not only Lupin the Third, but Detective Conan, coincidentally. But even more coincidentally, TMS Entertainment is owned by Sega Sammy.
Yes, Sega. That is Sega's anime studio. So makes sense, I guess.
Also, coincidentally, and I guess not. And obviously, Sonic X was made by TMS Entertainment as well. Mm-hmm. So, just a lot of coincidences there. I do have to say that Lupin is probably one of my favorite animes of all time. That's not Detective Conan. It's really fun. For people that don't know, it is. I'll play the trailer right here just for people to get a sense of it. It's better I show this than explain it.
Lupin the Third, just
don't get us kicked off YouTube.
Yeah.
What is dead? You foolish man! I am a Jito Ryo master. Excuse me, Bikini Inspector. Well, you. Spin that wheel, my good man. Lupin's here to play. Work with me now. Hello. I got a pair of pretty bracelets with your name on them, Lupin.
To the Emperor of Thieves.
Yep. So, for people that don't know, Lupin the Third is basically a famous manga made by Kazuhiko Kato, also famously known as Monkey Punch, and you basically play as the famed thief Arsène Lupin III, grandson of the fictional gentleman thief Arsène Lupin by Maurice Leblanc. And he basically goes around with his friends Daisuke Jigen, which is a marksman, and Gomon, a master samurai who's also a descendant of the very real Ishikara Gomon. So that one's a real person. It's a lot of people based off people. And then occasionally teammate femme fatale Fujiko Mine. Basically plot and steal treasure all over the world with varying degrees of varying levels of success and seriousness. It's a very, I would say it's more of a, I wouldn't say it's a kind of a joke anime. Kind of, it's like a comedy, so there's a lot of funny stuff.
It's
a lot
silly.
of less stuff. I guess if people really want to experiment, get into the series, I would definitely recommend you start with the part 2 Lupin, the one I showed there, or watching was it the castle of was it the castle one? I forgot what the name. Yeah, Castle Cagliostro, and then the new movie Lupin the Third, the first was really good. So. Definitely my 3 recs. We did ask some interview questions about the patch itself, where he actually gives shouts out to Malenko. Yeah, we actually reached out to him on YouTube because we couldn't find any info. Me and Dan tried to hunt him down, and we couldn't find him anywhere. But he basically said
ROM hacking for him. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically he said, yeah. Also, Cagliostro is also technically the first Ghibli movie. Not officially, but it's technically the first Ghibli movie. Oh. Also, nice. Fun fact on that. It's pretty much the majority of the people that founded Studio Ghibli later, so people consider it the first quote-unquote Ghibli movie, which I'm glad it's Lupin, because Lupin is probably one of the best anime of all time. Just my opinion. But anyways, we go and ask him about the translation. He said mostly, and how he got into it. He said he mostly just followed Malenko's advice from the Let's Replace Sega Saturn graphics on Sega Extreme. He used Aegisobs and a couple of versions of Virtual Dub for subtitling, but it only worked in Windows 95, and that's always a pain. That's kind of where I was stuck with that. All the texture files ended up editing using CMP compression, and then that threw him loop at first, but then he was able to figure that out and get that going. And then we asked him asked him about his first time translating, and he said it was his first time doing a Saturn game and his first time using a memory editor for anything. He picked this one because he stumbled across it, played it from start to finish, and loved it. and I guess he wanted to give it a little exposure bump, and he picked a bit of a big boy title for his first translation project, so it feels like it's something that's worth doing that doesn't have to drag out for years. And it felt like a good fit, and he actually started watching the one I just showed, the Red Jacket Part 2 dub, Lupin the Third Part 2, the one that was mentioned above that I just showed you, which is no notes dub. I do agree. It has probably some of the best voice casting and an incredibly funny dub. I do think if people really want to watch Lupin the Third, definitely watch Part 2. I think it holds up pretty well. I watched it recently again, and amazing. Love Lupin. So definitely highly recommend watching that. But there's also one thing we have to disclose because of last week. So we couldn't find anything about anybody else on the team besides Vermilion Desserts on the project, and he was really the only one that was listed as working on it. And there wasn't really a README or any information to see if he had anyone helping him. So I think it was just him. But we tried to track down how he went about it, but it seemed like that in the past he did indicate that he used both AI and machine translation in his processes.
He's worked on other translation patches for other consoles. And we did find some posts on ROM Hacking's forums where he was talking about using machine translation and AI, which is maybe the more upsetting thing for people when he's working on this stuff, that he doesn't really know Japanese. So it does seem likely that he used those tools, if you will, to create this Lupin the Third translation patch. So you can take that into account if you are considering checking the patch out. Yeah, so there's definitely that. I just feel like we should disclose that. I feel that moving forward, I think we should probably disclose that upcoming, so people don't think we try to hide anything. I think we do our best. So even last week on that same cast, we talked about that too, about the AI use of and the was it the emulator, I think. Creating the the creator of Yabasan SHIRO said that he used AI to help him redesign the front end part of the emulator on Android. So he said he tried using it to in the actual emulation of the Saturn, and he found that it was causing more problems than it was solving. So he's like, I'm not going to do that. But I guess it did help him, he said, to create the user interface part of it. So we're definitely going to bring that up because, I mean, like I said, a lot of people have justifiable misgivings about AI, and some people have higher tolerances for it than others and might want to avoid everything that AI touches, and other people might decide, well, maybe I don't care at all. I really want to play this patch or whatever, so I'm just going to play it anyway or whatever. But
and to be honest,
we'll put it out to you to decide on your own.
Yeah, and that, frankly, I think Dan nailed on the head. It's none of our business to sort of tell you what to do. We're just reporting on it. If you want to play it, if you feel like you can get over it, you can. If you can't and you want to not play it, then I agree. I think a lot of people had some pretty good takes on it. I know the Sega guys did a video talking about it as well, and pretty much saying that as much as the hatred of AI for the egregious stuff is bad, I think people might be sort of taking this one a bit too far, and maybe I think hitting everybody on the head because there's some machine translation used at some point might be a little bit far. But like I said, that's my personal opinion. I'm not going to tell anybody how they want to play it. If they want to play it, they can. If they don't want to, they don't want to. Out of principle, that's 100% your business. Yeah, like we're going to report on this stuff no matter what. We have to. We're SHIRO. It is. Yeah, it's something happening in the Saturn community, so we're going to let everybody know about it, whether it is unsavory or not, just as we have with other unsavory stories in the past that, even ones that had nothing to do with AI. So that's just how it is. It is 11 after, Pat. So do you need to go? Do we need to save these last couple stories for next week? Yeah, we might need to save the last couple, but it'll give us some more time because we have a lot of stuff to talk about afterwards, and we probably need to get into detail on, especially the last one we want to talk about. But I think for this week that is about it. I want to thank you guys for watching and understanding through the whole incident last week. Yeah, listening and understanding the whole last week's situation. I'm glad a lot of people were kind of understanding that watched it. So
yes, thank you to those of you who were totally reasonable about things and kept it civil, and
and shouts out to the people that said that called us out and like retracted and be like, oh yeah, sorry, we messed up, or said, oh yeah, by the way, they're cool for doing this and disclosing it. So shouts out for that. Massive respects. It's really hard sometimes for people to misunderstand and apologize, and I had to give props to that because that's not easy. I know I've definitely had to eat my words and swallow my tongue several times, so I know firsthand how embarrassing that could be.
We are human. We just try our best.
We do our best, but anyways, we probably should read out our patrons. Get a little Patreon music going. We got a new one this week, a new patron. So I'm gonna see if I can get his name up here. So let me just get that. Just kind of gotta get the notifications because the names kind of hide. Kyle Rovagug became an official Patreon member, so shouts out to him for being our Patreon member and being a new member and contributing. But yeah, I need to shout out our $10 patrons, which is Emerald Nova, Johannes Fetz, Paul Blort, Sega Steve, Young Money Sowie, Momphis, Shadow Mask, Derek Pescarella, aka A-Team, Fat Trunk Friend Otaku, Rowan Dinkt, Nutrageous, Robert Ramsey, Normal Guy, Cerulean, Jim Clasher Rank, Stoneman, Chad Clark, the immortal Daniel Fredrickson, who we love and miss every day, Chris Piper, Lightning Publishing, and Evil 42. Just want to thank you guys for supporting us at that $10 up level, and if you support us at any level above $3 and up, you can get cool access to early Patreon content, such as early videos, early podcasts, games and stuff. We could play, you can actually play fan translation patches. You can actually play Minecraft on the Saturn right now on there if you contribute to our Patreon. So if you guys want to play that $3 and up level, you can do that. You can also support, if you don't want to support us financially, or actually if you want to support us financially regularly, you can check out some of our cool shirts. We get a lot of cool merch that I really enjoy. Yeah, on TeePublic, so definitely would recommend picking up some of those shirts if you guys, if I can there we go, there was an hiding. Cool little shirts on our store, or like different things like fanny packs if you really want some fanny packs. I don't know why you'd want some fanny packs, but you could get some tote bags, fanny packs,
Inguinal satchels is what I call them.
Exactly. That sounds vaguely cancelable to say, so I'm not going to say that.
No, it's not cancelable, I promise. It's more of a medical term for your torso area, inguinal.
Alrighty then. It sounds vaguely sexual, so
okay.
You know me, never making those kind of jokes on the show. I have standards. No, but
oh yeah. Pat's one with standards here at the Sex Jokes.
I am. But anyways, if you guys want to, you can also, if you can't support us financially, but you want to contribute, you can go to our Discord. Discord is in the chat below. Join us, our community. We have community challenges. We have tournaments that go on. We get real prizes, like real cash money. Well, not money, but like cool items and prizes and gives away.
Prizes, yeah. Zaiden helps make those, and
very cool.
So that's super cool.
But yeah, I think that is about it, Dan. Want to thank you guys for watching, and remember, you must play Sega Saturn.
You must.